Golden Axe is a beat-em-up originally released in arcades and ported to the Sega Genesis in 1989. Until the arrival of Sonic the Hedgehog in 1991, Sega relied heavily on sports games and arcade ports to differentiate the Genesis from Nintendo's dominant NES. Golden Axe was well received upon release, and critics were impressed with how well Sega was able to match the arcade experience. At the time, home ports were generally watered down to fit the specs of the home machines, but Golden Axe was faithful to the source material. To really understand the popularity of Golden Axe, you really have to look at the time period it was released in. 80s cinema saw the rise of the action film hero, with stars like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, and Bruce Willis becoming household names. This ultra-macho style is captured perfectly with the characters of Golden Axe. Next, 1989 was a good time for beat-em-ups. The success of Double Dragon transformed the arcade landscape, similar to the impact Guitar Hero had on the rhythm game genre back in 2005, and gamers couldn't get enough of the beat-em-up formula. Golden Axe's unique fantasy setting helped give it a leg up against the competition. Finally, Golden Axe was an early game for the Genesis. As the library was small, Golden Axe had no problem standing out amongst its peers and was a clear step above what was capable on the aging NES, at least graphically. The game itself is incredibly straightforward. In true beat-em-up fashion, simply hack your way through hordes of baddies, take on some large bosses, and that's it. Golden Axe gets the basics right. The controls are responsive, whether it's walking, running, jumping, or attacking. The hit detection also feels right, with few moments where a hit fails to land when it seems like it should. While the move sets of the characters are extremely limited, Golden Axe ups the ante with rideable creatures resembling dragons, changing up the gameplay mechanics. The creatures feature a main attack, such as a tail whip or fire breathing, in addition to a charge attack. These animals are limited, however, and getting knocked off them a few times will usually scare them right off the screen. The other thing mixing things up is the magic. Collecting potion bottles will increase your magic bar, which can be charged up or used whenever to unleash a powerful screen-wide attack. These attacks generally last a few seconds and look pretty cool. Unfortunately, even with animals and magic, I still find the gameplay to be below average. It's not so much the lack of variety in the attacks I dislike, it's how bad the enemy behavior is programmed. For the most part, the enemy patterns are basic, and outsmarting them can be ridiculously easy at times. Anytime there is a ledge, you can stand on the lower level and hack away without any threat of danger. The enemy simply isn't programmed to do anything but stand there and take it. Other enemies are also severely nerfed and take far too long to actually get up after an attack. Therefore, it is very easy to juggle two large enemies for a couple dozen seconds and never worry about ever taking a hit yourself. Granted, there is some entertainment to be had in actually learning enemy patterns and exploiting weaknesses, but Golden Axe is just far too primitive to really be engaging. Also primitive are the graphics. Golden Axe definitely has a first-generation feel to it with limited colors and stiff animations. Granted, there is a certain charm to it, and I feel they did a good job capturing the fantasy feel they were looking for, but I don't feel the look has aged particularly well. The same goes for the music. It's a strange blend of whimsical notes and doesn't sound awful by early Genesis standards, but it's plagued with technical issues. Certain sound effects will cause the music to cut out completely, which is distracting. The boss themes are a little better, but overall, the soundtrack is nothing to write home about. If you played Golden Axe back when it was new, chances are you have some fond memories of it. It was a groundbreaking title for Sega and the Genesis, and was an early building block to Sega's success in the 90s. I definitely am not diminishing its importance, but as a video game, I find the experience lacking. The cool animal mechanics and interesting magic spells aren't enough to really make this game stand out. There are much better beat-em-ups available on 16-bit hardware, and Golden Axe is tough to recommend. The game isn't bad, it just hasn't aged all that well. 2 out of 5.